Combat in Korea ended more than 60 years ago, but South Korea's government still insists on honoring those who served.
They are very grateful for what we did for them, and I'll never forget that.
Korea was always thought of as the forgotten war. New at 6, 10 News military reporter Bob Lawrence explains why South Korea's mission is not to forget.
His emotions clearly on the surface, Ho Myung-shim of South Korea presented an Ambassador of Peace medal to one of 18 veterans who are now living at the Veterans Home in Chula Vista, and through an interpreter.
We really appreciate it. We really thank you.
June 1950, troops from North Korea crossed the 38th parallel into South Korea.
It was the last thing in my mind that there'd be another war.
Eugene Martinson was 17 when he enlisted in the Army. By age 19, he was in Korea, 20 days after the war started. But it was never officially called a war. The UN called it a
police action. It wasn't any kind of a war. However, if you're out there in any way, you know there's a lot of difference.
Backing North Korea were thousands of Chinese soldiers, which U.S. Marines battled in the ice and snow of the Chosin Reservoir.
The Marines, it was in World War II, the officers and NCOs, without them, would have been in trouble.
Combat would end in 1953 with an armistice, but U.S. forces came home to an indifferent America. It was called the Forgotten War, but South Korea hasn't forgotten.
It is our privilege to proclaim you as an Ambassador for Peace.
South Korea hopes their campaign to not forget will reach every surviving veteran from the 16 countries who fought to help them.
They are very grateful for what we did for them, and I'll never forget that.
It's the intention of the South Koreans to visit every veterans home across the country every year until the last survivor is gone. Bob Lawrence, 10 News, Chula Vista.
What a great program. South Korea has a number of programs to show appreciation to our veterans. The one in Chula Vista today was formed to honor those who cannot travel.